I have a really big question. Should Kash Patel be the last FBI director? Meaning, can the FBI be saved? Can he save it? We had Kash Patel finally confirmed by the United States Senate. A great victory for the rule of law. He's about the best pick Trump could have made. And here was the video I made when he was first picked.
President Trump made another inspired choice. He announced over the weekend that he is planning to appoint Kash Patel, my friend, to be the FBI director. Presumably he's going to fire Wray, or Wray's going to resign. The FBI is almost irredeemably compromised, and Kash Patel is nearly the perfect choice to go in there, bring transparency, reform, and accountability. Now, Kash is going to be attacked by the usual suspects, but he has a demonstrated record of uncovering, exposing, quite bravely, the corruption at the FBI and in the deep state, and he has vast experience working the bureaucracies on behalf of the American people. So what do you think Kash Patel should be investigating once he becomes FBI director? I've got a long list, but one of the things I think he certainly needs to investigate is FBI corruption and the targeting of Trump and other innocent Americans for political purposes by the corrupted Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Yeah, the FBI is a disaster. And I have a really big question. Should Kash Patel be the last FBI director? Meaning, can the FBI be saved? Can he save it? Now, arguably, if there's anyone who, quote, can save the FBI in the way of reforming it, making sure it's doing what the American people expect it to do, which essentially is just fight crime, it's Kash Patel. And I don't know if that can be done. But I hope that Kash is willing, if he can't do it, to come down on the side of me. And I think many Americans say, just shut it down. He's got to be willing to do that. And certainly Congress has got to start seriously considering it. I mean, what the FBI did in the last several years, and you can go back since the beginning of the FBI, it's been a menace time and time again, used as a political tool by president after president to keep a check on their enemies. And the FBI, of course, keeps a check on presidents as well. This is my statement that we issued when Kash was confirmed. Kash Patel is a patriot and he's a fighter. Judicial Watch congratulates him on his confirmation. It was a scandal the confirmation took so long. It really was. He should have been confirmed on Inauguration Day or thereabouts. Now, of course, I consider Kash to be a friend. We've worked with him for years here at Judicial Watch, and he's the perfect choice to reform the FBI. Kash will bring transparency and accountability back to an agency that became irredeemably corrupt and the tip of the spear in an unfettered lawfare against any American seen as a threat to the ruling class. From sitting on Hunter Biden's laptop in order to influence the 2020 election, the raid on President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, the censorship of Americans, to the targeting of traditional Catholics, the FBI has shown itself a tainted domestic and intelligence service. Kash Patel has his work cut out for him. Under its previous leadership, the FBI has become an enemy of transparency, an enemy of the rule of law, an enemy of constitutional government, and an enemy of the civil rights of tens of millions of Americans. Now, Judicial Watch and I witnessed that firsthand when the FBI came to my home under Biden and Garland to serve me a subpoena in retaliation for our blowing the whistle on FBI and Justice Department lawfare targeting Trump and other innocents. Kash Patel should open wide the FBI files and expose its abuses of power targeting Trump and countless other American citizens. Along with bringing transparency and accountability back to the FBI, Kash must return the agency to its core mission: legitimate law enforcement that will protect the rights of law-abiding Americans and prosecute legitimate crimes. He better get to town. Now, if I know, President Trump has shown we can expect quick action from Kash Patel. I mean, he literally, not literally, he knows where the bodies are buried metaphorically. The FBI, who knows otherwise? And there's been no one doing more work to expose FBI corruption over the years than Judicial Watch. The lawfare especially. Lawsuit after lawsuit. And I'm hoping Kash takes another look at those lawsuits, both closed and open. Because sometimes we sue and we can't get the records and we have to shut it down or the courts rule against us. I mean, for example, we have a case that's ongoing. It's got to be at least 6 years now, for the text messages of anti-Trump FBI agents Lisa Page and Peter Strzok. We wanted their text messages, and it's been years. We still don't have them all. We're not even in a place to litigate the text messages they don't want to give us. That's the sort of thing that Kash has got to deal with. Now, what he said at his confirmation hearing, which I attended, I had the honor of attending on behalf of Judicial Watch, is that his goal was to, there's 38,000 or so FBI employees, which as far as I'm concerned is probably, 20,000 more than they need, at least. Of the 38,000, 12,000 are agents. And Kash pointed out that a good number of them, I forget the stat he used, are around here in D.C. They're basically just deep staters with nothing else to do other than wait around for their political masters to sick them on some target for political reasons. And what Kash wants to do is to send these agents to the various FBI offices throughout the nation. So there's a field office in Miami, there's a field office in Chicago, in New York, Seattle, Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston. You can bet there are field offices in most every major city. Field offices in all the states, I suspect. I don't know literally if that's true. I'm not quite sure how many. Maybe someone can tell me how many field offices the FBI has. Maybe they don't need all those field offices. I don't know. But Kash's point is these guys need to be out there investigating real crimes, helping local police solve crimes. I mean, it's like the stuff you see on TV, right? Wouldn't it be nice if what you see on TV police procedurals actually worked in real life, or actually took place in real life, where the FBI shows up to help the locals investigate a crime in the way that's collegial as opposed to antagonistic? That'd be a great reform. But I tell you, it may not be enough. Because if it's done partially, or if there's just a haircut to the budget, or the FBI agents, now some have been fired or removed or retired, but not nearly enough in light of what happened. For instance, there were at least, according to reports, 5,000 FBI employees who did work on the January 6th prosecutions. Of those, how many of them were in making decisions that no honorable person should have made in terms of buying into the political prosecutions of the January 6ers? I don't know. Then you had FBI agents involved in targeting parents and churchgoers. And I just don't think we should have an agency where a president can come in and just do that at the drop of a hat. if culturally and institutionally that is easily done, then that institution needs to be torn apart from bottom to top to make sure it never happens again. So that they are so far on their back, if they exist at all, they can never again do to President Trump or to do to anyone else what they did to President Trump or any other victims of FBI abuse. I mean, I've told the story before, I'll tell it again. I was at home, I think it was 2022 now, maybe it was 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And literally, I had just had skin cancer surgery. I don't know if you can still see which side of my, it tells you how well it went, because I'm not sure which side it was. I think it was here. But it was unpleasant. If you ever had skin cancer surgery, it's surgery. And so I'm at home recuperating, literally the day of. I got home, lying on the couch, knock on the door about 6:30. And, no one else in my house answered it. I don't know where my kids were, where my wife was. Thankfully, I answered it. I got up, giant bandage on my face, and there's 2 FBI agents there with a subpoena. On my front door. I'm the head of Judicial Watch, the nation's largest and most effective government watchdog organization, and these guys at the FBI are coming to my home to issue a subpoena on behalf of the Garland gang trying to jail Trump. Why? Because Judicial Watch, again, was calling them out on their fake charges and legal concerns about Trump's conduct related to documents and everything else. Now, the agents were polite. I had an Amazon package. They pointed it out to me, and as I've joked, I'm the first American probably in history to have an Amazon delivery announced to them by the FBI. I didn't engage. I took the subpoena, and, Judicial Watch subsequently also got a subpoena. So it wasn't just me, it was your Judicial Watch. So if you support Judicial Watch, they were coming after you indirectly by coming after us. They don't want us to do what you want us to do, and they punished us for it. And it cost us a lot of money to deal with the subpoenas. I had to go and testify for 4+ hours before a grand jury run by Jack Smith's prosecutors. I had 3 prosecutors questioning me before the grand jury about nothing. Politics, First Amendment protected activity, what I had for lunch at the White House. My tweets. I'm reading my tweets to the grand jury. It was absurd. So between the FBI and the Justice Department, zero sympathy. I would eliminate entire agencies within the Justice Department. Everyone in the Washington field office who was around for the last 4 years, I'd put them up for review as to whether they should continue to work there at all. You see these anti-Trump Justice Department employees resigning because President Trump's team at the Justice Department wanted to, or is moving to shut down what they believe to be a retaliatory political lawfare set of charges against Mayor Adams, the Democratic mayor of New York. And all these Justice Department officials, oh, how dare you, how dare you. And they're resigning. Well, good. But isn't it interesting, no one resigned when they were using Trump and raiding his home. No one resigned when they were writing memos about how to target people in churches. No one resigned when they were treating American citizens like terrorists for exercising their First Amendment rights on January 6th. Or at worst, engaged in misdemeanor or federal offenses. Crazy overreach on the part of the FBI and the Justice Department. No one resigned. Now, there have been a few FBI whistleblowers to their credit who were targeted and abused. So this is why I don't know if the FBI can survive at all. This is why I think the Justice Department, frankly, should be a backwater agency when it comes to law enforcement, because I don't trust them to enforce jaywalking, let alone any of these political crimes. So I may be pressing Pam Bondi. I may be pressing Kash Patel. I may be pressing the Trump administration. And I'm one voice, I know. But I saw what they did. We have lawsuit after lawsuit to expose what they did. And one of the best things that Kash could do, or Director Patel, is to release the documents. Now, there was a goal, sometimes it was achieved during the first term, to release key documents. And sometimes the Trump administration would get it done. Other times it was a challenge. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.